Hey folks, today I'm going to be talking about two very important words when it comes to performance and the science of winning, because that's what this is all about, right? This is about winning in every area of your life, your relationships, your business, your health, your internal fulfillment, whatever it may be. You want to win. And in order to win, you need to be fully responsible and fully accountable. Both are very interrelated, but they're slightly different terms, but both are very important to take into consideration. The first one, responsibility, essentially is taking ownership of the action or the performance towards achieving something. So it's more of a verb. It's more about the action of taking ownership of the action of. Whereas accountability is taking ownership of the end result. And possibly that could be the upside or it could be the consequences. So that's more of an end result aspect. So responsibility is taking ownership of the action. Accountability is taking ownership of the outcome and what happens as a result of getting that outcome, whether it's a good outcome or a negative outcome. So those are the differences. But to win in life, you have to take 100% responsibility and accountability. So let me give you an example. In the business world, the CEO is a person that takes 100% responsibility and accountability. At the end of the day, the buck stops with them. The reason why is because even though they've delegated things to individuals, tasks to individuals, responsibilities, portfolios to other people, they are ultimately responsible for the result. And that comes down to trust, communication, having key measurements and KPIs, but also not giving up any of that responsibility to other people. So the moment that the CEO gives 1% responsibility to somebody else, that's different than delegation, by the way. Here's what I mean. I am 100% responsible and accountable for the results of my business. Okay, so my employees have their own responsibilities and accountabilities, but I am 100% responsible for the overall results of the business. So if someone on my team is not performing, I'm still 100% responsible and accountable. How I get that information and what I do with that information is the process of responsibility and accountability. And this is the challenge. So I'm trying to make the point here without making it too complex. The important part here is that we need to take 100% responsibility and accountability. The moment that we give that away, we lose what we call our locus of control. And locus of control is more of an internal thing where an individual has a belief that they are able to shape their future destiny. That's what locus of control is. And when people have a higher locus of control, they typically have higher self-esteem, higher self-confidence, and higher performance or greater performance. And so the reverse is very much true as well. Individuals that have a lower locus of control typically have, not all the time, but typically have lower self-confidence, lower self-esteem, and lower levels of performance overall. This is why responsibility and accountability are important. It gives you a higher level of locus of control, and it shifts your mindset, and you are able to do things differently and more effectively when you are thinking in terms of 100% responsibility. So going into any type of relationship, this is very important. It's important for both people to take 100% responsibility and 100% accountability for the relationship to work, for it to be successful. So there's a saying that I came across. Take 100% accountability and 0% blame, or give 0% blame. What does that mean? That means be 100% responsible and accountable for the results, but don't blame other people. So if something falls short between a couple in a marriage or in a team, what ends up happening is that everybody on that team should be taking accountability and responsibility to make it right. Okay, so this is the difference. But if someone is continuously not being responsible and accountable, then that person obviously is not a good fit for the team, regardless of what that is. So I have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to responsibility and accountability, not only for myself. So first of all, it starts with myself. I have to take full responsibility and accountability for the things and the actions and the outcomes that I'm responsible for, like my business results. And I also bring on people on my team that are 100% accountable and responsible for the things that they should do. That is my number one pet peeve. If people aren't able to live up to that, I can't have them on my team. That's my full policy. And sometimes people say, hey, Pradeep, you have a high standard there. It's not necessarily about having a high standard. It's the reality of performance. It's the reality, and studies show this, is when individuals don't take responsibility and accountability, the performance level drops. The performance level of the team drops. So it's very important for every person on the team to have this, you can say, principle as well, to take 100% responsibility and accountability. So does that mean that you shouldn't delegate? No, you should absolutely delegate, and delegate all the things that you shouldn't be doing. What I'm saying is that you are still ultimately responsible for everything being done that you are delegating. So ensure that the person you are delegating to is 100% responsible and 100% accountable. When you put these two things into place and you have a zero tolerance policy, when I say zero tolerance, I'm not saying be not human, don't have empathy, give people slack. People have tough days, people have tough times, people go through challenges in life, people have mental health illnesses. But also be realistic that if someone is continuously not able to take responsibility and accountability, it's going to impact the results of the overall team. So how do you mitigate that? If it can't be mitigated through technology or processes or other ways, then that person is not fit for the team. And that is your responsibility and accountability to ensure that everyone on your team, from top to bottom, is responsible and accountable, including yourself.